Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what basically feels like the ultimate boss fight of the Cambridge O-Level Business Paper 2 exam. Yep, we're talking about the notoriously intimidating 8-mark question. But don't worry, by the end of this, you're going to have a crystal clear strategy to absolutely maximize your score. Let's get right into it.
Look, if you've taken one of these exams, you might be pulling your hair out a little bit. You study your heart out, you know the business concepts inside and out, but when you get that paper back, you're still bleeding marks on these longer questions. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, your frustration is totally valid, because here's the secret: knowing the theory is only half the battle. The other half is knowing exactly how the examiners want you to deliver it. So we're going to figure out exactly where that disconnect happens. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit the challenge, the question types, the peel method, common pitfalls to avoid, and finally, the winning formula. Starting off with Section 1, the 8-mark challenge, and what the examiners are actually seeing on their end. Year after year, examiners spot the exact same mistakes, like writing only definitions. Knowing the definition is great, sure, but it's not a complete answer. Then there's giving points without actually explaining them, or, and this is a massive one, not applying those answers to the specific case study in front of you. Finally, students constantly forget to analyze the ultimate impact on the business itself. You see, just knowing the fact isn't enough. You have to bridge the gap and prove why it actually matters. Moving right along to Section 2, spotting the question type, because, spoiler alert, not all 8-markers are created equal. This right here is a huge paradigm shift. Before your pen even hits the paper, you have to figure out which of the two question types you're dealing with. We've got Type 1, which are your analytical questions. These use prompt words like explain, consider, or analyze, and they require 2 fully developed paragraphs. Then we have Type 2, the 4-factor questions. These literally ask you to explain or identify 4 ways, methods, or advantages. For Type 2, you do not need long, drawn-out analysis. You just need 4 completely distinct, separate points with very brief explanations applied to the business if you can. Now, for the rest of this explainer, we are going to hyper-focus entirely on unlocking the marks for Type 1. Those 2-paragraph analytical questions are the ones that demand the deeper explanation and analysis. And frankly, they are the trickiest ones to nail down. Which brings us to Section 3, mastering the peel method. Think of this as your ultimate paragraph blueprint. Say hello to your absolute best friend for Type 1 questions, the peel method. Let's break down this architecture. Step 1 is P for point. Just state your business point clearly. Step 2 is E for explain. Tell the examiner what that point actually means. Step 3 is the second E, which is example or application. You absolutely must apply your point to the specific business in the prompt. And finally, Step 4 is L for link or analysis, where you explain the final effect on the business. For a full 8-marker, you literally just run through this formula twice to give them 2 strong, perfectly developed paragraphs. Let's pause on that final step for a second. The L of peel. Analysis is notoriously the hardest part for students to wrap their heads around. It's not just about stating an action, it's about explicitly spelling out the ultimate effect of that action. Are sales going through the roof? Are profit margins shrinking? Did costs drop? You have to literally spell out the final consequences to secure those top-tier marks. And to pull that off, you need the right vocabulary. You want to forcibly show the examiner that you are actively analyzing. Memorize connectives like therefore, as a result, this means that, or which could lead to. Using these exact transitional phrases acts as a giant neon sign pointing right to your analysis, and it forces your brain to naturally follow up a fact with a concrete business consequence. All right, let's play a little defense in Section 4, avoiding common pitfalls. We do not want to fall into the examiner's traps. Let's rapid fire through these deadly pitfalls so you can mentally cross them off your list. Writing only definitions? Don't do it. Copying straight from the case study without adding your own insight? That is a massive trap. Throwing down a bunch of short points on a Type 1 question instead of writing 2 deeply developed paragraphs? That'll cost you. And of course, forgetting to apply to the scenario or leaving out the business impact entirely. Avoid these, and honestly, you are already way ahead of the pack. Now, keep this number in the back of your mind, 12 to 15. This is a crucial pro tip when it comes to pacing. You should only be spending about 12 to 15 minutes on an 8-marker. Remember, they want quality over sheer quantity. Write in full sentences, use accurate terminology, and just trust your peel structure to keep you right on track without rambling. Okay, let's wrap this up with Section 5, the winning formula, and see how this all looks in practice. I want to show you exactly how this looks in the wild.
Let's map the PEAL acronym directly onto a sample paragraph about employee training. For the point, employee training can improve workers' skills. Boom, clear and concise. For explain, better trained employees may produce higher quality products. See? We elaborated. Now apply, since the business currently receives customer complaints, improved quality may increase satisfaction. Notice how we grabbed a specific detail from the hypothetical case study there? Finally, analyze, this could increase sales revenue and help the business perform effectively. This seamlessly ties it all back to the ultimate business impact. If you can stack 2 paragraphs like this together, you've just built an incredibly strong, high-scoring 8-mark answer.
Before you completely drop your pen and move on, run through this quick mental checklist. Just ask yourself, have I given 2 fully developed points? Have I explained both of them? Did I actually apply them to the case study? And did I analyze the business impact? If you get 4 yeses, you are highly likely hitting those top marks.
We've covered a ton of ground today, from the question types right down to the PEAL structure. But if you take literally nothing else away from this explainer, I want you to burn this single question into your memory. After everything you write, ask yourself, how does this affect the business? Make that question your ultimate compass. If you always push your answers to address that final impact, you are going to absolutely crush this exam. Now go get some practice in, and best of luck.